Oh, sorry, this one is done. Okay. Good morning. Hyoncho sencho Rinpoche ma ye ba na ye jer di ye ba nyam ba me ba. Koni gonda pera shos. Yin ji chimbo tso denhi mi hing zoni malam chimbo nga jia tab pekar sa nga senti hirma do. Dunba tuje chen la sorwande dosun rolo na chu la yor sasan dunga chinda che jin chen yaso me pon shiwa jila. Sem chen tan de nyor do dan chen na tamban lang junun to tsar de sos. Please to generate bodhicitta, to think about the benefit for all the limitless sentient beings. Whoever dwell living in the samsara, we need help to them. We need concern to them. Because in the Buddha's teaching says, beginless until right now, without connect to us, there's no existence, even the single sentient beings. They are like kind of a family, friend, and we need to do something benefit for them. If we are doing only benefit for ourselves, it's like kind of the shame. It's not correct. And therefore, at the moment, how we can to help, physically or verbally or mentally. Physically and verbally quite weak, even very difficult to help our own self. But mentally, to generate bodhicitta, mentally to pray, may I become powerful in order to do some benefit for those my family of the sentient beings. And if I'm become quickly enlightenment, because I need help to my parents of the sentient beings. This kind of attitude, intention is a very, 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 very important. And when we follow the Buddha's path, and main, crucial, all the like kind of this path's frame, single frame, it is the bodhicitta, compassion. And if we are generate bodhicitta or practice bodhicitta, realize the bodhicitta, that is enough. This included all the 84,000. This is the heart of all the Buddhas of the past, present, futures. If lack of the bodhicitta and compassions, maybe we study all the Buddha's teaching on the past, present, futures. I don't know. We don't know really it can bring it to us liberation state. Really to want to be liberated or to be how mind is free from the sufferings, we need to generate bodhicitta, to develop bodhicitta. Therefore, very important to develop, to make the bodhicitta lasting forever and stable, to make the stability into our mind. If there's lack of the mind, or in the mind the lack of the bodhicitta, we are make to rebirth bodhicitta. If there is, maybe we have a little bodhicitta, we need to take care to more develop this precious mind. And if possible, to develop, cultivate that, more and more increase. If we any kind of using some method, very important. And through that, then as we are today studying the refuge, taking refuge. And actually, this essence of the refuge and bodhicitta, it's absolutely same. And the motivations and the purpose are the same. But of course, the commitment is, and during the refuge prayers, we are more request to the three jewels and root teacher of Buddha Bodhisattvas. Say, give me strength, power, knowledge, realization, so on. And then we are request to them. And the purpose why we need strength, blessing from the Buddha Bodhisattvas teachers, because we need strength, power, in order to help to other sentient beings. And during the bodhicittas, compassion, during the bodhicittas, more concerning others. It is like commitment is benefit for others. And therefore, the most essential point is about very much similarity. And we begin to talk to more. And now it's like the refugee prayers, the refugee, taking refuge itself is three headings. First, the approach to the, how is like approach to the taking refuge. And now it's like the second one is the how to take refuge. Third one is the precepts of the taking refuges, or the benefit. Today we are this second chapter, how to take refuge. How to take refuge. And yesterday it says, the Nagajunas text, as there are infinite kind of beings, the wish to help them is infinite too. When we take refuge, as I mentioned to you, also this need application bodhicitta, or need enhanced by the bodhicitta. Yesterday we are talking about particularly things. The particularly of motivation, the particularly of duration, and particularly of the object. Yesterday we already studied particularly the of motivation, according the different disciple of the capacity or disciples' capacity, like lesser sentient beings' motivation, middle beings' motivation, and great beings' motivations. And we are like kind of choose great beings' motivation, and we are thinking limitless sentient beings, and also help to think in the benefit infinite too. And also it is the durations, lesser kind of the beings. Duration is from to liberated from the low realms, obtained in the superior realms of the human, God realms. They take refuge until there. Or it is like how long they live. And middle beings also, the motivation is they want to be free from the old entire samsara. They realize that wherever the samsara to be, there is no freedom of the sufferings. They want to be enlightenment, Buddhahood or Arhat, but they thinking about the alone themselves. And then it's like great beings. It's like same as here the Nagarjunas says, jewel garland, as they are infinite kind of beings. The wish to help them is infinite too. Then it's particularly durations, and the great beings duration, how long they take refuge, taking refuge in Buddha Dharma Sangha from now until the hearted enlightenment. And when they have become the hearted or enlightenment, then of course they don't need any source of refuge, because themselves has become the Buddha, ourselves. And therefore, it's like that we already talking about these three things, particularity of this motivation, duration, and object. Object means is like a lesser beings when they take refuge. The object is Buddha Dharma Sangha, is just normal. Even that they just enough statues, tankas, any kind of representative of Buddhas, of course included teacher. Middlings, the object, the source of refuge of the Buddha Dharma Sangha is, and the Shavakapachika Buddhas, when they take refuge in Buddha, it's not a physical Buddha, not a verb. Only they take the refuge in the Buddha's mind, and also in the mind, the like cessations part of the Buddha's enlightened mind. And also is the Dharma is lesser beings to like kind of the pile of the volumes, books representative of the Buddha's teaching, they can take refuge. And the middlings, beings, and they don't take refuge in any kind of sculptures. And even the Buddha Dharma is there is the Dharma of the transmission, Dharma of the realizations. They don't take Dharma of the transmission. They don't take refuge in the Dharma of the whole is the realizations. They take only the Dharma realization. The Dharma realization itself is have the Dharma of the path, Dharma of the sensations. They only in the Dharma of taking refuge in the Dharma of the sensations. And also it's like the Sangha, the object of the Sangha. And the lesser the beings, the object of the Sangha is any ones to wearing the monastic robes, that is considered as the object of the Sangha. And the middlings beings, the object perfect Sangha is superior Sangha, like someone is like a superior entrance to the Samadhi. There's the four great Sanghas: entrance, return, non-return, arhats. Only these levels Sanghas are the real Sangha, ultimate Sanghas. And in the great Mahayanas, the particular object are the Buddha Dharma Sangha. Of course, it is Buddha, it's the Buddha. They take refuge Buddha's body, speech, mind. And the object of the Dharma, it is the great vehicle of the Mahayana's text. And they take refuge and all the teachings, Dharma of transmission or Dharma of realizations. And the Sangha, of course, noble Sangha, particularly Sangha is someone's reached the third bhumi, and first the third path, first bhumi until the 10th bhumis. Between there is like kind of whoever Bodhisattva, they are the great Sangha, source of refuge. And like this, now it's like more Mahayana's way. Today it's like we are more talking about how to take refuge. This is the very important how to take refuge. According to the basic vehicles in the Sutayanas, or the like based way, like kind of principally is the Sutayanas, basically or basic, that take refuge in the Buddha as the teacher, in the Dharma as the path, and the Sangha as companion alone, the way is it. This kind of motivation or concerning is like kind of the, like we can to say it's like basic vehicle according to the basic vehicles or like kind of the common vehicle, basic vehicle. And in Tibet is the Tumung type looks. Tumung is like the common vehicle, sutta and thantas. This is a common text, is the suttas. And that perspective, we are considering Buddha as our teacher, Dharma is our path, and Sangha is our companion, helper to us when we are on completion the Dharma, and that's best companion is the Sangha. We need to take refuge in three these things. This is like kind of example, and we can take example the Buddha as the teacher, Dharma is path, Sangha is companion. If we want, or if we need to cross the big ocean, maybe now we are crossing the ocean of the samsara, and we cannot do swimming. It's too far, too deep, too dangerous. We need to take refuge in the great boat, captain, passengers. And this kind of example is Buddha is the best captain. Never make mistake the path, never take wrong path, and showing and driving to us correct to other shore of the nirvana. And then it's the best boat itself is the Dharma, and like kind of build up by the Buddha's company, and is very strong, indestructible, and only this boat can cross the ocean of the samsara. When we have this true captain, best boat, then of course we need companion, passengers. That is the like kind of compassionate practitioners. Like consider like this, we are now journeying, and from the samsaric city to the great city, great celestial palace of the nirvana. And through this journey, generally speaking, we very much no idea, no organized, like a very much closed eye, stupidly, without any plan, just taking the path. Where we reach, how we can go, maybe we reach in the other side, other city or not. Years, millions, trillions, countless lifetimes we journeyed, never reached. But now, luckily, according to some in the past virtues or the accumulation merit, now we understood that we should take the correct path, rely on the correct guide to take the correct map and to ask correct tellers. This is the teacher, path, companions. And then it's like a little bit extraordinary. The general method of the extraordinary, it is not based, it is the extraordinary, it is not common. It is like kind of special secret mental workers tradition is to take refuge by the offering body, speech, and mind to the teacher. And rely on taking the yadams as the support or relying on the yadams, and to take refuge in the dakinis. It is the best companion, best help. Therefore, and extraordinary secret mentally and vehicles, we are taking refuge. Lama, Yadam, Kando is the three roots, like more inner source of the refugees. This is like kind of the very, very important like kind of the, he is talking about offerings, body, speech, mind to the teachers. This teacher or deity of the Lama. Normally when we are talking about the three roots, it's like kind of the deities. For example, in the Longchen Yintik tradition, there is a like kind of the different sadhana, like Rinzandupa, Dungarunro, and also is a Songduptile Jachense. This is like kind of the Guru Yoga sadhana, and therefore, and you say his translators is like teacher, particularly in the secret mantra vehicles. According that, when we need to realize the true nature of the reality, it's only the rely on the own teachers. Like kind of to when we take refuge in the teacher, Yadam and Dakinis. First is rely on the teacher, offering body, speech, mind. And it's like kind of there is no other any best teacher, best kind of the guide. And like outer is like kind of basic vehicles. They sit considerably as a Buddha, as teachers. Why you don't to call the Buddha? Maybe Buddha, Yadam, Dakinis. Not inner more, like kind of the, to directly. Of course, generally speaking, Buddha is the Buddha's quality, Buddha's realization, and of course that is Buddha is the more higher than our own teacher. But in the perspective of the kindness, for our like kind of our perspective, and our own individual teacher is the more kindness, more benefit, more kind of the relevant supported to us. And therefore, he is talking about the teacher and taking refuge in the teacher. We say it's like I'm offering body, speech, my mind to the teacher. And it's okay. And therefore, and then it's like we are taking more like focus, refuge into the teacher. And then it's like a support, rely on the yidam se. The yidam is the like kind of more making the realizations, and it's a kind of in order to do the some accomplishment, in order to receive siddhis, to rely on the yidam deities, and more fast, more kind of quickly. I want to say what is the difference between teacher, the yidam of the deity of the teacher, yidam of the yidam. Both is, yidam means is like kind of deity, spirit, and like kind of the wisdom deities in the Buddhist point of view. Tam, it is the phonetic. Like yin means it's like kind of the mind. Tam is like for your mind perspective, it is a precious. And most like kind of the yidams, it's very extraordinary. And like for example, we can see the teacher itself, Lama here say, more kind of the connect to the human beings style, wearing like kind of the humans clothes, sitting, face, everything is like a more, of course, it's like a physically. Yidam is like a little bit mysterious, like a little bit beyond. And it is like kind of the representative of natural realities. And it is like very kind of the extraordinary compared to the human beings. There are many different styles of the yidam deities, and inconceivable different styles. And this is the natural expressions, the essential natures and natural expressions, compassions. This is like kind of the constructed into our minds, the essence, nature, energies The nature is like the essential nature is the empty, you can to say, go beyond any kind of the elaborations. But itself has such kind of the movement, expressions, different, positive, negative, so varieties expressions. And this one is like Yidam's, more is connected to the wisdom and the representative of the natural state. And like kind of when we meditate on it, it is very kind of the feeling is very special. Sometimes, of course, unbelievable things. 3 faces or 9 feet, head, 4 arms, 6 arms, 1,000 arms, wearing very strange clothes and extraordinary forms manifested. This is the expression of the natural expressions. Then support, that is, the Dakinis companions. There is the Dakinis of primordial nature space Dakinis, and some Dakinis moving to the space. Some Dakinis is living, dwell, and different holy place. And those like kind of the someone is showing the Dakinis forms is like holder of the Buddha's enlightened activities. More kind of the support, help. And therefore we call the companions. Therefore, in the particularly secret Mantrayana, the source of the refuge is more inner refuge, Lama Yadam Kandrosi. That is the very important. And then is the special way and special sublime method of the Vajra essence is to take the refuge in the rapid fit path, whereby one used the channel as the Nirmanakaya, training the energies as the Sambhogakaya, and purify the essence of the Dharmakaya set. And like a kind of in the refuge prayers, we say it's like the mandala of the Bodhicitta, Sungatangarbhasi, nature of the realities. It itself has 3 mandala, the mandalas. Why you call the mandalas? It has, or it dealt with these spatial things. Which kind of spatials? We say it's like the channel, energy, and essence. Like kind of the channel and bindu or wind, and the essence, or it is like kind of the bindu, like kind of the in Tibet, tile. And these are the quite very important. Here it says, taking refuge in the Padas, Pada, I think so. Maybe my pronunciation is wrong. Rapid. Rapid path. And like kind of rapid is the fast, quickly, sweetly, swiftly, whereby one uses the channels. The channel is representative of the Nirmanakaya. When we are purified, the channels manifested, maybe it's like the Nirmanakaya, and like kind of the more physically, and training the energies. When we are like kind of talking about the energies, energy is the air, energies. When we purified the energy of the air, it's like kind of manifested the Sambhogakaya. When we are purified the essence, bindu, and that is the manifested the Dharmakaya. And when we are talking about these three things, channel, energy, essence, and this at the nature of these three things are consist in the bodhicitta, in the our Longchen Hinti prayers. Za long ti li rongjin, hyonchup sen. The nature of the bodhicitta is channel, energy, and essence. And this is the very important to need to concern the essence. Essence we call the sensual nature. Sensual nature. And natural expressions, compassions. And here is we are talking about the essence. Essence is the maybe bindu. The essence is essence. It's natural. Essence is natural. Why? It's nothing kind of the depends. There's no dependencies. Therefore we call the natural. It not comes from some cause, conditions. Therefore it is nature. It is the essential means based universal and the heart core of the phenomena. We call the essential nature. And this essential nature itself, there is the energy. Energy is, we call the natural expressions. Natural expression. Natural expressions, he is talking about the Sambhogakaya. Sambhogakaya is a representative of the phenomena. Rupakaya, Formkaya, visible things. This is the natural expressions. This natural expression is not different than the essential nature, the essence. Essence, the essential nature itself is natural expression. Natural expression is essential nature. And Dharmakaya, the Sambhogakaya is Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the Sambhogakaya. They are actually inseparabilities. Like kind of we're talking about forms, empty forms. Similarity. If there's no Dharmakaya, no Sambhogakaya. No Sambhogakaya, no Dharmakaya. If there's no energy, no essence, no essence, no energy. No, not the essential nature, then there's no nature expressions. If there's no nature expressions, there's no essence nature. This is the unification. Then we're talking about like kind of the compassion. Like we say it's like channels. It's a compassion means we say it's the pervasive of the compassion. More it's like kind of the Nirmanakaya. This natural expression is not handicaps. Natural expression of the Sambhogakayas forms very much functionalities. This expression is actually it's the same as the essential nature, essence as the Dharmakaya. But according to Sambhogakaya or natural expressions, the pervasive compassion is everything is functionalities. They never kind of the mistake or no function things. Whatever exists in the samsara and nirvanas, everything's perfect, functional, unmistakably, unfailabilities. These three things are, of course, constitute the refuge for the great perfections perspective. These three things are the like kind of the radiant primordial wisdom, which is the bodhicitta, Sungartan Garbhasi. And if we can to say all these three things are combine into bodhicitta or Sungartagarbha in the Suttas perspective, and the great in the Mantrayana's perspective is called the spontaneously present primordial wisdom. Spontaneous present primordial wisdoms. Spontaneous present. Spontaneous, naturally, automatically. Nobody's installed, nobody's a gift. It's spontaneously present. That means it's in the past no exist, in the presently to present not. Spontaneously all the time is present. Changeless. This kind of wisdom, bodhicitta or Sungatagarbha, unification of this three things, channel, energy, and the essence. Of course, if we can to detail more, if we want, some in the particularly in the secret Mantrayanas, if you want to different perspective, wisdom of the primordial purity, like kind of great emptiness, the wisdom of the spontaneously accomplishments, phenomena, appearances. In the Sutra's perspective, you call the emptiness and the appearances. But emptiness is appearances, emptiness is empty appearances, appearances is emptiness. And also it's like kind of, particularly in the Vajjas, secret Mantrayanas, primordial purity and spontaneously accomplishment phenomena. Spontaneously accomplished. Inconceivable, this is our nature, our own bodhicitta or the Sangartangarbha, because it is the representative of the channel, energy, bindu, its essence. And according that, it is representative Namranikaya, Sambhogakaya, and the Dharmakayas. You take refuge only in it, or must take absolutely fantastic. This included outer source of refuge, inner source of refuge, and also it is the very secret source of refuge, or the ultimate source of refuge. This is our own bodhicitta, our own Sangartangarbha, our own Buddha nature. This is like kind of the absolute source of refuges. And here says the ultimate and infallible refuge in the indestructible natural state is based on the primordial wisdom, inherent in the refuges. And this is ultimate really the source, ultimate, direct, truth, unmistakable, unfailable refuge, it is our own true nature of the reality, indestructible. Therefore, sometimes we call the Vajja mind. The nature of the reality, the essential nature itself, like kind of the indestructible. Who can to destruct? Destructed. Nobody cannot destroy it. Nobody cannot make dirty. No need anybody to clean up. Indestructible. It is natural. This kind of state is based on the primordial wisdoms inherent in the refuge. This kind of, when we are taking refuge, any kind of outer, inner, ultimately refuge shows this. But when we are taking refuge, even the outer source of refuge, inner source of refuges, they like kind of in the mind inherently without, like kind of in doubt or existence. They like kind of this indestructible nature state. And then we are taking refuge in that. That wisdom, essential nature is emptiness, its natural expression is clarity. And it's very important, this is like this, it's nature expressions, clarity, and the compassion activity is all the pervasive. Taking refuge here, it means to realize it in one's own mind stream with the total confidence, the great inseparability of these three aspects of the primordial wisdoms. This kind of the inseparability, unification of the three, like a kind of the essential nature is the emptiness, compassion pervasive, compassion activity, pervasive. This is the wisdom. And this one is like kind of we are established into our mind. You concerning the object, this Buddha Dharma Sangha's nature reality, or radiant, or in your own individual, the nature. Okay, maybe we can stop there. 15 minutes, yes? Oh, yes.